Welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. So let's get started. So let's create a new project. We need to give it a name. I'm going to call mine My Movie A. In this example, I'm going to be using a web camera to capture my images. You can also import images, or you can use a camcorder. More on that later. After you select your webcam, in my case it's a Logitech webcam, I'm going to be asked for the output size of my movie. I'm going to go for the highest resolution, 960 by 720. We'll cover this in a later tutorial. So now my selection comes up and I'm going to choose 960 by 720. I click OK. Okay, so this is the main screen of iKit Movie, and I've got my little character in front of my web camera, and I'm going to take some snapshots after moving the character. This camera has an autofocus function, which I'm not going to use. I'm going to focus it manually. So some web cameras have a manual focus, and again we'll cover that in a later tutorial. Also, I'm going to turn off the gain. This camera has a setting because I don't want light flicker. So I'm ready to take some snapshots. So I take a snapshot by clicking on the snap button. I can also use the space bar if I want to take a snapshot. It's best sometimes to take a few snapshots just to get the scene started. So I move my character a little bit and I take a snapshot. Okay. Oops, I've left my hand in when I took a snapshot. So I wanted to remove that image. So I right mouse click, I bring up the floating menu and I choose delete. Confirm, and it removes that snapshot. Okay, so I'm going to take some more snapshots. I move my character, take a snapshot, take another snapshot, and so on. Each time I take a snapshot, the image I've just taken appears in the timeline at the bottom of the screen, so I can see my progress as I go along. So I keep on moving my character, making a little movement each time. If I want to see more of the images in my timeline, I can zoom in by using this mouse button. So you can see now more images on screen. To review it, I choose playback and I simply click on play. Oops, I think I saw a hand in there still, so let's find it and remove it. I can drag the scene along by using the mouse. Ah, there it is. My hand is still there. It's in a different frame, frame 11. So again, I highlight the frame. By right mouse clicking on the frame, I can choose to remove it, delete. Okay, so now I'll play it back and watch. So I've got a little bit of animation done. This is going to be my character speaking to the camera. So I proceed and I take some more snapshots. And I'm going to make the character move out of the screen this time by getting him to walk across the screen. I'm going to turn onion skinning on now so that it'll be easier for me to see the old image versus the new image. In case I make a mistake, I can compare the two. This is a really useful tool when making animation. Okay, so I take my snapshots in between movements. I can see the previous image and the next image. Keep on animating. I use the space bar because it's a lot easier to take my snapshot rather than having to grab the mouse and click on the snap button. Okay, so now I've made the character animate and I've got him to walk out of the screen as well. We'll show you how to make this character walk in a later tutorial. Okay, so I've got my little piece of animation and I want to add some sounds. This is the power of iKit Movie. There are 2,200 sound effects in the sound bank, and I can also even add more sounds that I might have myself. So let's look for a sound. I want the city sound, which is the sound of the city in the background. So I type in city and click on search, and I scroll down until I find it highlighted in my data bank of sounds. Okay, keep on scrolling down, and there, city. So I've got a choice of 3. So I can listen to them by clicking on them. When I've chosen the one I like, I simply drag and drop it onto the timeline, onto the sound bar. It tells me where it begins and where it ends. So now when I play it back, I'll have the sound of a city in the background. It adds atmosphere. I can change the volume by highlighting the sound, right mouse clicking, and brings up the volume bar. So I'm just going to reduce the volume a little. Okay. So now I want my character to say something. So I go into the voiceover section. I name the recording I'm going to make with my microphone attached. I'm going to get him to say something. Click on record. Hello, welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. I can play it back and listen to it. Hello, welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. If I'm happy with it, I can save it. When I save it, the voiceover recording appears in my voiceovers section. So now, just like the sounds, I drag and drop it down to the timeline onto the voice channel. I'll play it back to listen. Hello, welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. Okay, let's add another voice recording. Goodbye. Listen to it. Goodbye, and save it. Okay, so I want to add the character saying goodbye towards the end. So I scroll down to the end of the animation where he's gesturing to say goodbye, and I simply drag and drop that onto the timeline. I can play it back and listen. Hello, welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. Goodbye. Okay, it's a little bit late, so I'm going to move it to the left to make it more in time with the action. So I'm just zooming in, and I'm going to drag the voiceover to the left by 6 or 7 frames so that he will say goodbye soon. Hello, welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. Goodbye. Okay, pretty good. But I'm going to raise the volume just slightly. Okay. You can add more sounds if you like. You can add footsteps, for example, which we didn't do in this instance. Or we can add some music. Some mood music. If you don't like the selection of sounds we give you, you can add your own sounds. Once you've selected a sound, you drag and drop it onto the timeline, onto the music channel. I'm going to just reduce the volume a little bit and play it back to listen to what I've done. Hello, welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. Goodbye. Hello, welcome to the iKit Movie Overview. Goodbye. And you can add as many more sounds as you like, such as footsteps, dogs barking, whatever. There are 2,200 sounds. Great. If I did want to add sounds or music, you simply click on the Add to Library button and you choose the sounds or music that you want to add. You can add WAV files or MP3 files. Once you've finished your animation, you might want to share it, so we export the movie to a format that is usable on the internet or on other computers. There's the 960 by 720 that we chose earlier. Best to leave it like that unless you have a reason to change it. So we're going to export it to a WMV format, which is the Windows Media Video format. You can also export it to MP4 format, which is the format used by Apple Macintoshes, iPads and iPods and so on. At the end of the export, you can export the movie up to YouTube directly from within iKidMovie. All you need is a YouTube account, or if you don't have one, you can create one through iKidMovie. Okay, so it's finished exporting and it's saved onto our computer as a WMV file in this instance. We'll show you later how to upload to YouTube, but in this case we're not going to do it right now. So choose No. So we can simply click on our movie that we've exported and we can play it in Windows Media Player. Hello, welcome to the iKidMovie overview. Goodbye. So that's it, a very quick overview of iKidMovie. Lots more tutorials on the website. Thank you.